What's going on, everyone? My name is Max. I'm a communication skills coach. Today we're going to be checking out Shahrukh Khan. I hope I'm pronouncing his name at least somewhat correctly. I think I may have seen him in a movie a few years ago, and I know he's a really popular actor in India. So I want to check him out, and that's what I do on this channel. I look at all different types of people's communication skills. As always, if you want to watch the uncut reaction to my analysis, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. The link is in my description below. Other than that, I look forward to diving into the video today. This is Shahrukh Khan on the Jonathan Ross Show.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Shahrukh, great to have you here on the show. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much.
The Bad Shot of Bollywood.
He seems sort of humbled by the moment. What I liked what he did when he first entered the room is he gave a very sincere, personalized acknowledgement to the band that introduced him. From a communication perspective, it goes a long way when you personalize your acknowledgement and your interaction with different people. It makes them feel good. And as a result, they're going to want to be more engaged with you. They're going to want to be more engaged in the conversation. They're going to be more likely to listen to you. So giving your attention, just doing that right there, does a lot.
So many phone calls for people going crazy to try and get tickets. And I think just about every Indian in the country has phoned me this week. They've even named a street after me in Neasden to try and get some tickets. That's what's going on. You have a huge following. Is it strange for when you come to...
Interesting how he took in those compliments as well, right? There was no verbal acknowledgement when Jonathan Ross was talking about how every Indian in the country phoned him when they heard Shahrukh was coming in. He appreciates it, but I think him kind of looking down to the side there is him demonstrating his humility. I think Shahrukh is conscious of not coming across as too arrogant, whether it's calculated or it's natural, I'm not sure. Maybe that's more of a cultural thing.
No, it's like being at home, and I'm not showing off.
Yeah.
It's like being at home. Actually, I heard it somewhere that all the Indians have followed to the British because they ruled us for the last 200 years. So a lot of Indians are here, a lot of Pakistanis, and I see more Indians here than I see it in India, actually.
He's not hiding the fact that he knows he's a big celebrity. He's not downplaying that. He's not being arrogant at all. He's just being honest.
And I'm not showing off.
In a way, that adds to his credibility. It adds to whether the audience believes him and finds him trustworthy. I think it adds to his likability. You know, if he was going on and saying, hey, you know, no, people don't really recognize me as much here, it just wouldn't feel real. It's just not honest. And the fact that he's not hiding his superstardom and his fame is actually a good thing, in my opinion.
Singing and dancing we do everywhere.
Okay.
You give us a chance. You know, I could be doing an operation on a woman, removing her appendix, and I can start singing. Dil to hai mera jana.
That's what I would like to see.
Yeah,
You've got to put that in a movie, Shahrukh.
absolutely. No, I already have.
You've already done it.
He's quick, man. He's quick. Super charming, too, right? On my last video, when I was watching Priyanka Chopra, I noticed she gestured a lot. And I thought she was really engaging that way. And I got a ton of comments saying, hey, that's more of an Indian cultural thing. We gesture a lot. So I'm seeing that with Shahrukh, but he seems very calm in his demeanor and his delivery. Yes, he's charismatic. Yes, he's charming. But notice how he's not like overly projecting his voice to get his point across.
Singing and dancing we do everywhere.
I talk about this. If you're present with someone and you're in the conversation, you don't necessarily need to do things like project your voice really loudly to garner the attention of the person you're speaking with or the audience that's listening to you.
Argument made that you can have too much singing and dancing in a film?
No, we have about 5 or 6 songs. It's a set pattern that you have 3 parts.
Notice his body is open too. He's kind of relaxed. He's got his arms open. He's got his body open. That's generally an indicator that we're okay with being seen or we feel confident and comfortable in a certain situation.
I get the feeling that Western people, people who aren't necessarily understand the language in the movie, are coming around to the movies a little bit more. Is that right? Do you think
Yeah, I
that's the
think
case?
so. I think it started as a trend. Everyone thought it's like little kitsch and, it's all colorful. And a lot of people in the West, when I used to come earlier, they said they're a little silly.
Notice when he's listening to Jonathan, he's locked in on him. He hasn't broken eye contact with him once. He lets Jonathan finish his sentences before he speaks. So
Coming round to the movies a little bit more.
he's very present and engaged in the conversation in that way. He's very attuned to what's happening. When Jonathan stops speaking, then he takes a moment to speak.
To the movies a little bit more. Is that right?
I'm just getting a real sense of patience, calm, and real just social aptitude from our boy Shahrukh here.
My father-in-law lives out in India for part of the year, and he says it's just such an exciting experience when a new movie opens. Everyone goes, and it's just people go crazy for the films.
Yeah, people throw coins in smaller cities and all. When the song starts, people throw coins and
I
they
think he
dance
goes
and
mainly to collect the money. That's
I-
why he enjoys that side of the experience. You mentioned.
You can tell he's a really good conversationalist, a really good listener. He showed some really good active listening skills. You can hear him at times listening.
And he says it's.
And you can see him listening. And those are the types of people we like being around. We like people who make us feel like we're the center of attention. You go to a party, that's who you want to be around. Not the person who's talking about themselves the whole time, but the person who makes you feel like you're the most important person in the world. Obviously, this depends on your own personality type. Some people just want to be left alone at a party. But for the most part, if someone takes a genuine interest in you in a real way, that's who we want to be around, right?
For me to go back and work on TV wasn't a problem, but it was an experiment. Would a movie star, like you said, would be accepted on television or not? And television has just got very big in India in the last 3-4 years. So it was an experiment. It kind of turned out all right. And then we mix, you should see Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the Indian version that I've done. We do a little bit of singing and dancing.
Of course.
See how midway throughout his message there, Shahrukh started smiling even more.
You should see.
And to me, that indicated that he was genuinely into what he was saying. And as a result, it kind of made me smile, and it brought me in to the conversation and his answer even more. There's something called mirror neurons, where we actually mirror the neurons in other people's brain when they're speaking. So if we're smiling, there's a better chance our audience will smile too. If we're genuinely excited about something, about a topic, it brings our audience in even more.
What I like about seeing your movies is there's a little bit of everything, it seems to me. Not in all of them, but you have the big song and dance numbers. Some of them are fantastic, and so many cast members involved. Really big scale productions. You also have the acting, the drama, the stories, but they're often stunts and action as well. And I believe you do many of the stunts yourself, am I right?
I used to do.
Seems as the interview goes on, he's still listening to him. He's still showing really good listening skills, but he just doesn't seem to be as captivated or interested. I've just noticed little things between him putting his hand to his face.
Am I right?
I used to do.
And him sort of scratching his stomach.
There's a little bit of everything, it seems.
Those could be small tells that he's a little restless or a little uncomfortable as the interview goes on.
But in personal life, I'm very shy and reclusive and strange and weird and awkward. But really, I am. So.
How does that work then, being as well known as you are? Because I know, certainly.
And Shahrukh said, hey, I am a little awkward and shy in real life. He did mention that. So if he's being honest there, then perhaps, hey, his energy tank is starting to wear off a little as this interview goes on.
You must be very pleased. And it's interesting because you talk about the fact that the character is Muslim, he marries a woman who is Hindu, and that's your life as well, of course. Your wife is Hindu.
That's my life, yeah.
How does that work for you at home? How do you raise the kids? What do you do in terms of the faith issue at home with them?
We've just confused the shit out of them, I think.
Perfect answer. How are you supposed to, how much time do you have? Really, I'm going to talk to you and this audience who I don't know about how we raise the kids from different religious backgrounds. I think he sort of diffused that situation perfectly.
We've just confused the shit out of them, I think.
In New York, and you got stopped and searched for maybe a little longer than normal, just I guess because of your name.
Yeah, I'm always stopped at the security because of the name, and I think it's okay. The Western world is a little worried now and paranoid.
Touchy,
yeah, they're a little touchy, yeah. And feely when they're frisking you. But yeah.
His energy's picked back up again. I like how Shahrukh kind of adds on to a lot of Jonathan's jokes.
And paranoid.
Touchy,
yeah, they're a little touchy, yeah. and feely.
Not only does adding on to the joke help with the flow of the conversation, but it lets the other person know that you appreciate their humor as well. So I think it does wonders for a conversation. Look, Jonathan's smiling, he's laughing, and perhaps that will help continue the conversation in a more effective way.
So you might be making a movie with one of my favourites from Hong Kong cinema, Jackie Chan.
Oh, I love him.
Is there truth in this?
I've asked him, but he's very expensive. And so I hope I'm gonna try and speak with him in the next few days again. My kids love him. I love him. You know, when I was having my first kid, I prayed to God, I hope my son looks like Jackie Chan. I love him so much.
Oh, he's funny, man. He's picking up when he wants to, huh? He can turn it on, can't he? And I like how whenever he finishes a joke or a sentence, he really looks at Jonathan as a way to sort of observe his response.
And he does.
You know, he's very perceptive. He pays attention to people.
The first time I'm trying to bring in a Western kind of a superhero in India. I'm shooting it in London.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you see me flying over Piccadilly, yes.
He'll fly over Piccadilly, but he'll stop at Selfridges and turn back. Too many people recognise me up there. I can't land.
Incredibly charming, doesn't try to overpower the situation, doesn't feel like he needs to be in control, but he maintains a semblance of control by his presence. He's really with you throughout the conversation. I think there's a lot we can learn from the way he communicates. There's obviously a reason this guy is one of the biggest superstars in the world.
Shahrukh, how lovely to have you on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you agree he's a superstar with very good reason. What a charming guest. Mr. Shahrukh Khan.
Very glad I checked out Shahrukh Khan, my very first reaction of him. Guys, if you want to see my full uncut reaction and analysis, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've included the link in my description below. And guys, if you want to join my Patreon page, you can start with my silver tier. That's my starter tier. And there you can find all my uncut reactions. From there, if you want to move up and graduate and watch my live streams, you can. But it's a great place to start. Other than that, my name is Max. I will catch you very soon.